Hello everyone, welcome to another video here on the channel. I kindly ask those of you who haven't subscribed yet to please subscribe. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to leave a like and share it. For those of you who are able and willing to contribute a symbolic amount to support the channel monthly, you can simply click on the Be a Member button. Feel free to express your thoughts in the comment section. Today I would like to discuss a topic, continuing our behavioral analysis of Brazilian society that we've been exploring here on the channel, specifically about deprivation, however, not in the sense of that's why men mistake this desire for a woman's body as romance and is driving many men crazy who don't get it. However, at this point I would like to discuss further the dynamics involved in everyday relationships. These are daily occurrences where you can observe needy behavior exhibited by both men and women. Since that time, this tendency has become significantly more pronounced within Brazilian society. For instance, these days, when you share on social media that you visited a particular restaurant with a group of 3 or 4 friends to celebrate a birthday, or maybe you're just hanging out at a bar, this scenario has likely occurred to almost everyone present here. And then, inevitably, a friend might comment, "Oh, no invite, huh?" It's almost like you feel a responsibility to reach out to everyone you know for a specific celebration or get-together. The social network provides a lot of opportunities for this kind of interaction where people notice you enjoying yourself, and sometimes even if you've shared something, they won't reach out to you. Additionally, something that has caught my attention here in Brazil, and this has been happening for many years, long before the advent of social networks and smartphones, is the topic of customer service. Brazilians often have a preference. They tend to value being well looked after significantly more than just receiving a high-quality service or product. I'm not implying that, oh, you can serve me poorly and I won't notice, or that you can mistreat me. But for Brazilians, receiving neutral treatment, a middle-of-the-road kind of treatment where it's not too friendly yet not with a stern face either, is considered bad treatment. So, frequently, the person prefers someone who is smiling, friendly, and so on, even if they don't actually solve their problem, as long as they attend to it. Well, something that truly solves problems and is handled impartially with emotional neutrality. You won't notice them remaining like that for long. Anyone who has traveled to wealthy countries, whether for leisure or business purposes, knows that things are somewhat different there. People generally don't place a lot of importance on constantly smiling or on providing service with extreme cordiality. This doesn't mean they dislike when you smile, it's just more common, more neutral in nature. So why am I offering this critique? Because in some specific places and certain corporations, Brazilians will keep going no matter how poorly they are treated. For example, you won't see someone stop eating McDonald's because they've been mistreated. If they stop eating, it's usually because of a dietary issue, a change in eating habits. So, in other words, it's a bit hypocritical, this behavior of Brazilians, both men and women, where they're treated badly in certain places, or not treated as well as they'd like. But instead, if it's a very famous place or one they like, they'll go to a place where they're not treated as well as they like. So he's going to carry on as normal. So the matter concerning Brazilians is something they are quite particular about, to phrase it in that manner. This ties in closely with the social deprivation experienced by Brazilians. For instance, consider this scenario. A person visits a restaurant and enjoys a truly delightful meal. However, the waiter serves him in a rather neutral manner. The waiter wasn't overly friendly, yet he wasn't impolite either. And then Aristotle mentions that knowledge starts with senses. So the Brazilian he'll often criticize the place where he had a meal. In other words, he had it there. His palate was very well. It's a business that's been treated very well, and he will override the service regarding the primary sense, which is to taste the food. However, there's something else you might notice, a behavior indicating a deficiency in Brazilians. This is because we are not a society accustomed to strong economic freedom. Furthermore, here, there exists a very, I wouldn't even say collectivist way of thinking, but rather, people don't realize the market is complex and dirty. I know many here already have their own business, virtual or physical. One rule is that not all common sense is false. Some things are true. When starting a business, virtual or physical, your friends and family likely won't support you as consumers. People start businesses not realizing the market is harsh and failure is more likely than success no matter your field. Randomness is powerful worldwide, especially in unstable economies like Brazil. In Brazil, discussing luck or misfortune is taboo. leaving many unaware of the chaos. This can lead to feelings of depression when friends and family aren't supportive. People may then turn to Instagram gimmicks, posting things like supporting your friend costs nothing and so on. It's somewhat akin to pleading for the attention of the clientele. This behavior also stems from a sense of lack. It's quite rare to see an American, a Swiss, or a Japanese individual posting such things. Of course, the argument that they reside in wealthy nations is quite compelling. However, Brazilians must urgently work on overcoming this neediness, as it doesn't solely pertain to having a girlfriend, romance, or marriage. It permeates nearly every human relationship. Brazilians often say friends, business aside, but don't follow it. You often see former business partners who are now friends but don't speak anymore, even without serious fights. Sometimes you criticize your friend's place or don't eat something and they take it personally. A client of yours who has been frustrated before, a client who is also a friend, might sometimes feel frustrated with your service or product and will take it personally as well. You see, Brazilians often experience this, taking everything personally. Although everyone says the phrase friends are friends and business is business, it's rare for people to truly follow it. So, to wrap things up, I'm creating shorter videos now, reducing the time by a third. However, this is just a temporary change because I visited 2 ENT specialists and I was advised to conserve my voice. This is because I still have laryngitis that hasn't fully healed yet, so my vocal savings are going to be... I prefer videos lasting 8 to 10 minutes rather than 15 or 16, which was my usual length until the end of the year, or maybe until late November. Let's wrap this up, so stay tuned, okay? The behaviors observed within Brazilian society, encompassing both men and women, manifest in various contexts such as the workplace, commerce, and daily interactions, including those with family members. This tendency to not even make a call, this prioritization of service over actually solving problems or ensuring product quality, and this inclination to take business-related workplace, service, and product friction in a personal manner. This is something that takes Brazil a long way back because as much as the problems are macro, structural, and everything else, these everyday micro relationships, as long as Brazilians don't turn the key a little and understand, be a little colder, more pragmatic, just like the guys are starting to wake up to this business of women dating, marriage, which is something very complicated, very difficult. Both men and women should begin to awaken more to this daily commercial influence and put an end to this overwhelming neediness once and for all. We are not meant to act like robots wanting to be treated poorly, and I apologize, accepting mistreatment and bringing it back home with us. It's one thing not to idolize being treated sweetly and all that, but it's a completely different matter to actually accept being treated poorly. So there's a balance to be found between enduring mistreatment and being treated exceptionally well. This tendency to be overly needy and to take everything personally is just one of the many factors that contribute to Brazil often being seen as the worst. Wouldn't you agree? A hug to all.